I'm going to go through the Cyto-RF really quickly with you and all of its advantages. There's a lot of RF microneedling devices on the market. What I love about the Cyto-RF are a number of different things. One is that you do have a tabletop version. This is very small, it's very light. So say you had a mobile med spa and this is something that you wanted to add, super portable. With that being said too, we understand that that's not necessarily how some med spas are set up. So we do have a cart or a trolley that we can provide that allows you to move it room to room very easily. There's actually storage in the back. The Cyto-RF is also not just RF microneedling. It's also fractional non-ablative. A lot of times we are seeing fractional ablative, right? Where you actually smell the burning skin. You have the little grid marks of the pins where they fired and ablated the tissue. Fractional non-ablative is not going to leave any downtime. You will often see, depending on the patient, little raised red bumps in the pattern of those pins. So the Cyto-RF comes with 3 different tips. One is the 49 pin, that is your RF microneedling. That is 49 needles, and it looks like this. It is the larger of the 2 RF microneedling tips. There is a 23. This is your 23. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's much smaller. Again, if you're doing perioral lines or you're doing under the eye and you want to have a really small applicator and you want to get really close to certain things, this is great to have it. But for full face neck and décolleté, for body treatments, you're going to want to use the 49. The system does auto recognize which tip is put on, which I love. It's a very, very smart, super easy to use, very user-friendly. So if as the practitioner or the business owner, you're concerned about, retraining, how difficult the system is to use, it's insanely easy to use. It's also very, very safe. We've come across some situations with RF microneedling with volume loss and too much aggression in the depth of penetration. You don't have that with this. You can get quite aggressive as necessary, but with face, it does have amazing preset parameters. You can alter these as necessary based on how aggressive you want to go with the treatment. But essentially you have your RF power, which is the intensity of the RF, your milliseconds on time tissue, and then you have your depth of penetration. I like to leave these as is for most of my treatments, unless for whatever reason I'm trying to get really aggressive. I don't think it's necessary in RF microneedling. And you see when you're set to face, that you have a depth of 0.5 to 1.2 millimeters. It defaults to 0.6 actually when you start your treatment. I take it down to 0.5 when I'm doing forehead, around the eyes, and around the mouth. And then your jewels. Body. So if you switch over to body, you now have a little bit higher of your RF preset parameter, a little bit higher milliseconds. Your depth auto defaults to 1.8, so quite deep, but you can go all the way up to 3.5 millimeters. So you can get as aggressive as you need to with the body for, say, stretch marks, laxity around the knees, the backs of the arms, that kind of thing. And then your jewels do also go up. You have a lot more tolerability on your body for that spiciness than you do on your face. But these are very, very safe parameters. When you're ready, you're going to hit ready, and now the system is ready for you to start firing these needles. So I am actually going to go to standby and get these all the way up in hopes of showing you just how much 3.5 millimeters really is. That is very far into the tissue. I don't know why you would ever need to go any further than that with any other modality out there. This is also the pace at which this can move, so quite fast. You get your treatments done really, really quickly after numbing, and super tolerable, again, because these are insulated needles. Now, I do want to highlight my other favorite thing about this device in particular. So I'm going to go back into standby so I can change things around. But you do have a 49 RF tip, and that RF is actually a fractional non-ablative tip. And that's going to allow you to deliver the heat that you would normally get with a non-insulated needle without any of the pain. So you get super comprehensive delivery of the heat that you can then follow with the deep delivery of the radio frequency with your RF microneedling. So just like a double whammy. But now this has also made it a dual modality RF microneedling fractional non-ablative device. You have the capability of doing both together or each individually and separate. So there's a lot of capabilities with this. This is probably the most affordable device on the market considering all of its capabilities. So very, very fast ROI with this guy. So I hope you enjoy your Cyto-RF.